Il est 18h32 dans la capitale économique Douala. Madame, Messieurs, bonsoir et bonne fête de l'unité nationale. La date du 20 mai marque la naissance de la République unie du Cameroun en 1972, une commémoration lors de laquelle les Camerounais de tous bords sont appelés à l'unité et la paix, célébrée cette année sous le thème Armées et Nations, ensemble pour consolider ou alors pour relever les défis de la sécurité sanitaire et préserver la paix, la stabilité et la prospérité du Cameroun. Rentrons dans l'histoire de cette date, dans cet élément ou dans cet éditorial que signe Blanche Perdrine.
After the independence of former French Cameroon territory on January 1, 1960, and subsequent independence of former British Southern Cameroons on October 1, 1961, the two territories, now one joined by choice of independence, operated under a federal system of government. It was so till 1972 when the first or former president of Cameroon announced the constitutional change through a referendum to take place on May 20, 1972. 20th May 1972, a majority of Cameroonians overwhelmingly voted for a unitary state as opposed to the federal system that existed. This change immediately took effect, visible on all national symbols. The name Federal Republic of Cameroon was changed to the United Republic of Cameroon. The green, red, yellow flag with two stars on the green stripe to represent the two Cameroons changed to green, red, yellow with a single star. This symbolic and significant change meant that Cameroon will operate as one against all odds, with a president at the helm of activities. In 1984, under the reign of President Paul Biya, the name was modified from the United Republic of Cameroon to the Republic of Cameroon, translated in French, La République du Cameroun. The Anglophone crisis of late 2016 has further exposed the ideas of some unhappy Cameroonians who have posed worries that question the unity of Cameroon. The 49th edition of the symbolic referendum is celebrated at a time when hard talks are on the table, celebrating unity and debating unity.
Considering the situations on ground, we have two schools of thoughts. A school of historians say that the whole 20 May was a farce because the drama that occurred in Fumban was a manipulation of the French or West Cameroon against the East Cameroon against the West Cameroon. And because of that, this thing has caused a lot of trouble since then until 1996, when they came with the idea of granting the English-speaking region of the country a special status. And since then, it was just on paper. And the Anglophones kept agitating through the SCNC, saying that the whole 20 May drama was a farce. Until date, there is still squabbles across the entire nation of Cameroon until it has given birth to what we have today as the Anglophone crisis.
And so when we talk about the celebration of this day as a national unity, to me, I think it's a day that brings better pain. It brings pain to the heart to those Cameroonians who know their history and who actually understand how this so-called 20th of May, which is termed the National Unity Day, how it came about.
The Anglophones feel marginalized, rejected, maltreated, disdained in their own country.
Years before now, Cameroonians full of enthusiasm and love for fatherland filled the streets, marching to patriotic hymns with a perfect display of military prowess. Since the start of the crisis, celebrations have not been the same. Though this year's commemoration is void of celebrations due to COVID-19 pandemic, this day is a reminder that Cameroonians have only one Cameroon and it is theirs to preserve.
Toujours parlant de la fête de l'unité nationale, Gladys Bomotangina s'est rendue dans certains quartiers de Douala pour avoir les avis des uns et des autres concernant l'unité et la paix au Cameroun et également la question comment consolider l'unité et la paix au Cameroun est répondue dans cet élément.
La 49e édition de la fête de l'unité nationale du Cameroun ce 20 mai 2021 s'est déroulée notamment comme celle de l'année dernière, à savoir sans parade dans les boulevards ni célébration quelconque sur tout le territoire national. Au regard des crises dont le pays fait face depuis quelques années, à savoir la crise sociopolitique du nord-ouest et sud-ouest, la crise sanitaire de coronavirus, le thème a été porté sur Armée et Nation ensemble pour relever les défis de la sécurité sanitaire et préserver la paix, la stabilité et la prospérité du Cameroun. Néanmoins, en ce qui concerne certains Camerounais sur ce jour et son thème, l'unité de la nation et le vivre ensemble n'ont jamais été le problème du Cameroun, mais se penchent plus sur un problème de gouvernance.
Les Camerounais en eux-mêmes n'ont pas de problème de vivre ensemble. On a toujours trouvé les Bamileke chez les nordistes au sud, un peu partout. On n'a pas ce problème. C'est les gens qui veulent diviser le Cameroun qui nous mettent ce problème de vivre ensemble sur la table.
Par contre, d'autres ne projettent plus la nation dans ce sillage.
Il n'y a pas l'unité au Cameroun. Il n'y a pas la paix au pays parce que les ministres ont volé tout l'argent. Depuis qu'on parlait de détournement du fonds public, on ouvrait toutes les enquêtes. On n'a jamais compris où les enquêtes ont abouti. Pour que ça change, il faut que les ministres remettent l'argent qu'ils ont détourné. Et puis le gouvernement, l'État nous dise ce qu'on a fait de ça. Et ce qu'il y a lieu de faire de ça. Et ce qu'on va faire de ça dorénavant. Chaque jour on les arrête, mais où est cet argent?
Célébrée pour la toute première fois en 1972 et commémorée chaque année, la fête de l'unité du Cameroun et son importance restent une priorité majeure pour toute la nation camerounaise.
Et en raison de la pandémie à coronavirus, les traditionnelles parades ont été annulées. L'effervescence de cette 49e édition est dépeinte dans ce reportage de Dolingonde.
Army and nation, together to meet the challenges of health security and preserve the peace, stability and prosperity of Cameroon. This is the theme for the 49th edition of the 20th May celebrations in Cameroon. Since 1972, when Cameroonians voted for a unitary state as opposed to the existing federal state in a national referendum, the National Day of Cameroon, also known as the Unity Day, is celebrated annually every May 20th. But what knowledge do Cameroonians have of the day?
Cameroonians are celebrating the National Day. That's the day of unity as opposed to federation.
For me, this is a unity day. So when I say unity day, I still remember when my mother said that this is the day that French Cameroon and English Cameroon finally united together and became one.
Here in Douala, the nation's economic capital, this is the main 20th May Boulevard, void of the exceptional military parades, patriotic songs, and the ambience that usually characterizes this day, as Cameroonians heed to President Biya's call for no outdoor festivities in compliance to the COVID-19 barrier measures. Nonetheless, this is what some Cameroonians are missing out on the day.
Ça ne ressemble pas comme la fête nationale. Si c'était la fête nationale, on devait voir comment le dehors bouge, le dehors est sec, parce que le pays ne va pas.
March, left, right, march. One. I am so happy to have passed all through all those experiences and going to march in front of the mayor, in front of important personalities and be clean. I wish yourself that day that they will see me, I will be clean. I will be so happy when I'll be passing in front of them. They will also see me on TV.
I would say that in the early years of my formation as a child, memories of 20th May used to be glorious. We always look forward to the march past, you know, we look forward to the money our parents was going to give us, and we're going to go out and buy all the things we like to buy after the march past.
However, despite the low-key effervescence of the day in some parts of the city, the hoisting of the national flag, the display of patriotic messages, amongst others, have indicated the grandeur of the day to some extent, with some churches organizing special prayers for the nation of Cameroon. And for the second time in Cameroon's history, 20th May has been celebrated with no outdoor manifestations due to the COVID-19 pandemic, just like last year's edition.
À l'occasion de la fête de l'unité nationale, l'esplanade de Bamenda Upstation a accueilli la cérémonie de remise de décoration des médailles du travail à 59 employés présents à cet événement célébré dans le strict respect des mesures barrières édictées par le gouvernement était le maire de la commune de Touba, Tanjor Martin. Charles Kebois pour plus de détails.
Under strict COVID-19 barrier measures put in place by government against the COVID-19 pandemic and the symbolic hosting of the flag at the various military units and the Northwest Governor's Office, celebrating on the theme, Army and the Nation Together, let's overcome health security challenges and preserve the peace, stability and prosperity of Cameroon. Some 59 meritorious workers were decorated with various medals. The Grand Officer of Value, Knight of Order of Value, the Commander of Cameroon Order of Merit and Merit of Public Force. Amongst was Tuba's Mayor, Tanjong Martin.
This is the second medal I'm taking within 2 years. In 2019, I had Knight of Cameroon Order of Merit from the head of state. Today, 2021, I'm having Knight of Cameroon Order of Value from the head of state. And I look at the distance between Tuba, where I operate fully, and to the Yaoundé so far, and I cannot know how the head of state always feature me out in the award of medals annually.
Downtown celebrations to mark the 49th Cameroon's unity, the streets remained empty. Shops are closed with most inhabitants indoors. Security measures heightened in Bamenda to ensure the region's National Day is celebrated in a peaceful atmosphere. After a joint gendarmerie and police operation made up of forces is set eve of the day's celebration, arrest 13 suspects said to be linked to separatist activities in the Ngomogam neighborhood. With descending voices and the ongoing Anglophone crisis, the union has been a boon rather than a burden for the Cameroonian people. Time will bring back all glories for tomorrow and rebuild the ravaged southern part of the country.
À présent, ce fait divers où un homme au nom de Tchokowe Léopold, âgé de 45 ans, est actuellement recherché par les forces de l'ordre. Il aurait drogué puis découpé sa femme alors qu'elle était endormie. Les faits se sont déroulés tôt ce matin à Mabanda, un quartier de Bonabéry à Douala 4e. Le récit des faits est avec Fond Quinta.
Shock and disbelief fill the air at the Block 39 neighborhood in Mabanda, a locality in Bonabéry Douala First Subdivision, Littoral region of Cameroon. Locals woke up to news of a 45-year-old man identified as Tchokowe Léopold, who allegedly drugged and butchered his 37-year-old wife Waji. Locals woke up to news of a 45-year-old man identified as Tchokowe Léopold, who allegedly drugged and butchered his 37-year-old wife, Waji Kulewa Crystal, in her sleep.
So around now 4 o'clock we left and went to Bonasama Hospital. We went and met the cops in the chair, on top of the table inside the theater at the mortuary, where we saw where she was cut off by the husband, collapsed, cut the jaw, and pierced her with knife on her balls, her chest. In fact, so from there on, they kept the corpse in the mortuary. We left and came to her house to come and see what really happened. So we came down to her house, we went into the room, we saw her bed was covered with blood. We then asked the population what really happened. That is when they started narrating to us that what happened was that the man used to beat her, but we were not aware. You know, she was a girl who does not talk a lot. She does not talk. She liked to cover things. Yes. So then they said when the man committed the crime, he went and sent a voicemail to his girlfriend. The girlfriend he had outside. Oh, the man. Yes. And said, I don't regret the act. I don't regret my act that I've committed.
The act, described by many as barbaric, took place in the early hours of May 20, 2021 in that neighborhood. According to cousin of the deceased, prior to the act, the suspect has been accusing his late wife of infidelity, an accusation she refused on several occasions. Close family sources further disclosed that the suspect has been using the wife as a punching bag whenever they have a dispute. A witness says the accused killed the wife, mother of 3, and covered her body before leaving the house. Investigations from the Mabanda Gendarmerie Brigade hold that the murder was a planned act which the suspect had to drug the wife before committing the crime while she was asleep. At rest hour, the suspect is on the run. Meanwhile, search operations are ongoing.
Les habitants de Cassava Farm 2, un quartier dans la commune de Kumba, région du sud-ouest, se sont retroussés les manches ensemble pour réhabiliter la route reliant GBHS Kumba à l'entrée de Mile 1, munis de houes, machettes et bien d'autres encore. Ces femmes et hommes déterminés plus que jamais afin de rendre cette route accessible à tous, particulièrement pendant la saison pluvieuse. Ils ont lancé un cri d'appel au gouvernement de leur venir en aide pour la construction de la dite route. Prenons à présent cet extrait.
We are trying to walk the roads. Please let the government come and help us. We are behind GBHS Cassava Farm 2. We are in a community walk. We are trying to keep this road clean. Please help us, government, to come and build these roads.
Un collège du confessionnal à Tiko, une localité dans la région du sud-ouest, a célébré la paix qui règne dans cette localité. C'était lors d'un service écuménique organisé mercredi par le sous-préfet de Tiko, Vokawa Armstrong, notre correspondant Kuma Honoré.
The population of Tiko answered present yesterday, May 19, in an ecumenical Thanksgiving service organized by the divisional officer for Tiko subdivision to thank God for the peace that reigns in the subdivision and to pray for Cameroon as a nation. The ecumenical Thanksgiving service, which took place at the esplanade of the divisional office in Tiko, saw the presence of clergy, administrative, local and traditional authorities, as well as a cross-section of the population in Tiko. Speaking on behalf of the clergy, Reverend Guajulos Ambe thanked God for being faithful to Tiko population throughout the Anglophone crisis and prayed God to grant the divisional officer the wisdom he requires to bring joy and gladness to the inhabitants of Tiko subdivision. The men of God took to the rostrum, praying for different intentions. The prayer intentions included a prayer for forgiveness and reconciliation, prayer for justice and peace, prayer for the nation and its leaders, prayer for unity and oneness of Cameroon, and prayer for the recovery of the nation's economy.
We call upon you to protect our nation from bloodshed, protect our nation from killing, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, protect our nation from this COVID-19 pandemic.
Addressing the population, the divisional officer for Tiko subdivision, Vu Buikame Armstrong, coined his speech in 2 words.
We invited here all of these persons to come and hold an ecumenical service for prayer, most especially giving reverence to God, but over and above to pray for peace in our land, for return to normalcy. But very fundamental is the necessity for love to champion the cause that we all seek. That is to say, we should go above the divide, the hate speech, and all of what has caused disunity amongst us, and unite ourselves in brotherly love so that we can forge ahead as a common nation with a common destiny.
The ecumenical service was interluded with praise and worship songs from a charismatic band and popular gospel artist, Mary Mandy, who kept the audience craving for more.
Me, I want to tell you the truth. If you say you be Christian, don't read your Bible. Yeah, you the waste time there. For money, you wake up, read your Bible.
Une famille en Godi, dans l'arrondissement de Douala 3e, a vu sa maison partir en fumée. Le feu qui, selon les témoignages recueillis, s'est rapidement propagé, n'a pu être maîtrisé à temps malgré l'intervention des sapeurs-pompiers. Aucune perte de vie humaine n'a enregistré, mais d'importants dégâts matériaux. Le récit de Nora Kakebi.
Recently, the population of Ngodi Aqua, a neighborhood in the economic capital Douala, witnessed a sad and unfortunate incident. At about 2 p.m. Wednesday, May 19, a private residence caught fire and got burnt to ashes, recording huge material damage as almost everything in the house was lost to the blaze. The burnt items included kitchen utensils such as pots, plates, spoons, and other items, including beds, mattresses, cupboards, dresses, and other accessories. Some sources have attributed the fire to poor electrification, while others say the fire must have been provoked by a forgotten pot on the fire. It should be noted that the fire brigade team responded swiftly when they were alerted, but unfortunately the fire had consumed a large part of the house, as well as a large majority of the household valuables. Although the fire had caused enormous damage, the firefighters were simply able to prevent it from spreading further to other nearby houses and causing more damage and pain. The exact cause of the fire has not yet been established, but many are just speculating as to what exactly must have triggered the fire. Meanwhile, the affected family have been left helpless and empty, as they have just their eyes to shed tears while they watch their house brought down to ruins by fire.
L'Assemblée nationale a rendu hier 19 mai 2021 ses hommages à l'honorable Emilia Monjowa Lifaka, vice-présidente de l'Assemblée nationale décédée le 20 avril dernier. C'était au Palais des Congrès à Yaoundé. Plus de précisions dans ce reportage.
La tristesse était perceptible sur les visages des collègues, membres de la famille, membres du gouvernement, autorités religieuses, traditionnelles et amis, venus nombreux hier, 19 mai 2021, au Palais des Congrès de Yaoundé, rendre hommage à l'honorable Emilia Monjowa Lifaka. Deux temps forts ont marqué cette cérémonie d'hommage parlementaire. La prière, rythmée par la chorale, pour le repos de l'âme de la vice-présidente de l'Assemblée nationale. Et une série de témoignages de ses collègues reconnaissant en elle l'humanisme, le charisme, le leadership d'une femme politique engagée au service de la population.
Elle me disait qu'elle était en train de terminer un projet d'activité parlementaire pour laquelle elle voudrait que nous travaillions ensemble. J'ai donné mon accord et elle l'a dit, on se retrouvera à la session de juin.
Et donc elle savait dans les arguments et quand on était en désaccord, parce que nous ne sommes pas de la même famille politique, elle savait faire la part de choses. Et
l'accueil que cette maman nous a réservé, nous qui venions d'arriver, était l'accueil d'une maman. C'est-à-dire qu'une mère qui accueille des enfants, à qui de temps en temps elle donne des conseils.
Décédée le 20 avril dernier à l'âge de 62 ans des suites de maladie, l'honorable Emilia Monjowa Lifaka sera inhumée le samedi 22 mai à Bodjongo, dans la région du Sud-Ouest.
Et c'est ainsi que nous mettons fin à l'édition de ce jour. Madame, Messieurs, merci d'avoir été des nôtres. Restez scotchés car tout à l'heure vous aurez Prime Art. Bonsoir.